Good evening and welcome to President's News for Wednesday the 10th of July. I'm obviously not in the clubhouse tonight, I'm on trackside as tonight England are playing the Netherlands and they're showing it in the clubhouse, so it's going to be a little bit rowdy up there, so we've taken it trackside tonight. So tonight we've got club news, we've got club records, we have a couple of results to round up for you, park run, and then to tell you what's coming up. So we'll start with our club news. We had our T20 athlete Nehemiah Dick competing last weekend up at Coventry in the National Junior Para Athletics Championships, where Nene competed in the under-18 shot put. He won the shot put event and has now become National Under-18 Para shot put champion. So well done to Nene on that. We have two club records to report this week. First of all, Jackie Montgomery, competing in the W60 pole vault, set a new club record of 1.70 metre. She did that at the last round of the Vets League, so well done to Jackie. And secondly, Yasmin Ostrich set a new women's 2 kilometre steeplechase club record in a time of 6:38.34 up in Birmingham at the BMC meet last weekend. So well done to Yaz. Now then, we've got two sets of results to round up with you. First being the Upper YDL from Hemel Hempstead on the 30th of June. So, it was the third and final round of the upper age groups YDL, and it was another typical summer meet in cold and blistery conditions, interspersed with patches of rain. But while the weather was poor, the athletes themselves were in great form from start to finish. Starting with the men, our under-20 400 metre hurdlers got us off to a cracking start. Luke Dronefield and Ryan Murtada both won their A and B string events, and both in grade 9 runs. There was also double wins from the sprint hurdlers, Ibrahim Halil and Chinedu Nduku. The sprinters showed they were in good form with PBs from Sam Moa in both the 100 and 200, and Oliver Driscoll was third A string in both the 100 and 200. We had Marley Byfield competing for the first time post-injury in the 200, where he ran a 22.5 in the non-scoring event, which would have placed him very well in both A and B strings, so great to have Marley back running. And completing the sprints, it was a double win for our 400 metre men with Zuriel and Luke Dronefield. Moving up to the middle distance events, it was a strong performance from our 800 metre runners Alex Middleton and Jasper Brooks, who both won the A and B string races. And then a very strong second A string from Joseph Hill in the under 20 1500 metres. Joseph is actually still just under 17. And the steeplechasers were in good shape with wins from both Harry Fage and James Barnes. So moving on to the field, we had a win in the long jump from Andrew Nkoro, and we had a win in javelin from Max Kennedy of 46.67. We had second place finishes for Oscar Whitcomb in pole vault, and it was a third place finish in shot for Zuriel. We had a win in the under 20 men's 4x100 metre relay with Sam Moa, Andrew Nkoro, Marley Byfield and Ryan Murtada. The under 17 men fared just as well, with Sasha Morel taking third place finishes in both sprint and long hurdles, along with Ben O'Grady, who was second B in the 400 hurdles and took a win in the 1500 metre steeplechase. He was partnered in the chase with Oliver Ward, who won the B string. Our sprinters Leon McBean and Daniel Olatunji both PB'd in both the 100 and 200 metres, and there was a win for Ryan Rennie in the 400 metres. We had double wins in the 800 metres for Joe Skeins and Henry Verster, and in the 1500 metres it was a win for Jed Starvis and second for Nathan Clark. In the field we had wins in long jump from Josh Dako and second B string from Archie Powell, and there was double wins in hammer from Aaron Axtell and George Henderson. We had a second place in shot from Oliver Kullaby and double thirds in javelin from Charlie Platt and George Blackwell. It was another third for the 4x100 metre team and second for the 4x400 metre team. So moving to the ladies, in the under 20s, Sienna Kidd got us off to a winning start in the 400 metre hurdles, and who also took second in the 100 metre hurdles. In the sprints it was a third and second for Honey Chalmers in the 200 and 100, plus a B string win for Nina Witter in the 200 metres. In 400 metres we had second and a first from Cameron Kelly Gordon, and Tallulah Endicau. Moving up to the middle distance events, it was great to see Liberty White racing again, this time in the 1500 metres along with Olivia Maggie Brown, and we had strong runs in the 1500 metre steeplechase from Amber Coburn and Isla Spink. We had some super performances in the field with wins in shot put from both Rihanna Rennie and Tallulah, and it was a third place finish for Tallulah in javelin and first B for Rihanna. We had a win from Lydia Whitcomb in the pole vault, second place finish for Erin Simpson in discus as an under 20, and another second for Sapphire Hudson Ball in hammer, and then thirds from Emily Hayden de Cornier in both long jump and triple jump. In the relay, it was a first place finish for the 4x100 team of Honey, Zara, Nina and Emily, and a second place finish in the mixed 4x400. Our under 17s had a win in the 100 metres with Cheyenne Niketa, and double seconds for Alyssa Furla and Leah Kiriakou in the 300 metres. We had a third B string for Matilda Shillings in the sprint hurdles and a win in the B string 300 hurdles, along with A string wins for Beth Regan. Moving up to the middle distance, we had a third and a first from Megan Barlow and Neymar Mossy over 800 metres. Neymar backed that up with a second place finish in the 1500 metres, and in the 1500 metre steeplechase we had a second place finish for Neve Stanley in A string and a second B for Lydia Marsden in the B string. In the field we had a second finish for Madeline Dodd and a first B for Elsa Paulson in pole vault, and we had a second place finish in shot for Ella Rees. Third place finishes for Ella Danby and Lacey Webb in discus, and then another third for Lacey in the hammer and a fourth for Ella in hammer. So overall, some very strong performances to secure the match, which we won, and we go forward now as league. We go forward to league finals as division winners, and are certainly looking good for success in Manchester in September. Must give thanks to our team managers, to Tim and Helga, and to Ian for all their efforts in getting the teams out. So the second set of results I have this evening are from the National League that was on Sunday at Woodford Green. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was quite nervous about these results coming in after we finished 8th at the last round. So when the results came in, I was delighted to see how well the team did. They did an incredible job. Our team managers, Adam, Tim, Chloe and Paul, managed to field a team where we only had a few gaps. So a big thank you to all the athletes who turned out, and to many of whom who took part in events that were not their first choice events. But they all did a great job securing points for the club and ensuring we finished third on the day, which gives us every chance of staying in the Premiership next season. I must acknowledge our team of officials who travelled through and secured maximum number of team officials points possible, which is becoming more and more important. And I also want to acknowledge our under 17 and under 20 athletes who took part, as it should not be underestimated what a step up in level of competition it is to go from YDL level to National League events. I also want to acknowledge our Masters events who turned out for the club, as for them as well as the youngsters, it's a real personal challenge to step out alongside some of the strongest club athletes in the country, and many who are maybe less than half your age. So a big thank you and a well done to all those athletes that turned out, as well as a thank you to our senior athletes. So the day got off to a great start in the ladies 400 metre hurdles, with a third and a first from Sophie Ellis and Alex Hill. In the sprint hurdles, we had a third A string and a PB from Rico Cottle, along with under 20 athlete Chinedu Nduku, who ran both the sprint and long hurdles. In the sprints, we could not have done any better, with double wins in the 100 metres from Luke Dorrell and Kieran Gowan-Wade, plus double wins from the ladies, Jennifer Aduwu and Darcy Kuipers, who both managed to run 11:61. There was another win in the 200 metre B string for Darcy and in a PB, and we had seconds for both Luke Dorrell and Faith Akinbeleji in the 200 metres. In the 400 metres, we had Dan Putnam running in the A string, taking second, and under 20 athletes Sam Moa and Tallulah Endicau. There was a win in the 800 metres from Angus Harrington, having recovered from his hot heat in the British Champs. Angus also ran in the 1500 metres for 7th, and along with Alex Middleton, an under 20 athlete who took second B string. And then Angus also threw a season's best in javelin just to top off his afternoon. Now the ladies had double thirds in the 800 with Chloe Sharp and Morgan Squibb, and Chloe, like Angus, doubled up with the 1500 metres plus a leg in the 4x400 relay. In the 3 kilometres it was a win for Jack Kavanagh, and in the 2 kilometre chase it was a 4th A for under 20 Harry Fage and a 2nd B for Dan Kennedy, plus a 5th A for Alba Barnes. It was 2nd for the men and 5th for the ladies in the 4x100 metre relay, and then a 6th and a 7th in the 2 mixed 4x400 metre relays. Now moving to the field, in discus we had a win and a season's best from Dylan Claydon, plus a PB from Bryden Duncan, and it was another season's best for both Dylan and Bryden in shot. In the women's shot put we had a 2nd A from Cleo Agipong, just behind national champ Amelia Campbell, plus a season's best from under 20 Tallulah. Cleo also threw a PB in the discus along with Zara Obamakingwa, who took 3rd A string. Charlie Platt, our under 17 pole vaulter, jumped 3:42, and it was a season's best for sister Holly, also in pole vault. Now Dad Roger was also competing in the pole vault that day, and Roger's ordinarily a vet 50, so well done to Roger for stepping up. In long jump we had double seconds from Daisy Snell, under 20, and Mary Adeniji, who jumped a season's best of 5:70. And it was season's best for Theo Adesina and Ben Sutton in the men's long jump. So all in all we had some very strong performances. We did have a few gaps in some events and a few B strings were missing, but that just shows how much better we could do, and also highlights how well the athletes did given the gaps that we had. So the final round is in Birmingham on the 4th of August. Hopefully we'll have another strong turnout there and hoping to see another strong performance, and as I said, securing our position in the Premiership for next season. Now moving on to parkrun, we had 41 members taking part this year, so numbers are down, this week. Numbers were down on the last few weeks and in just 21 different locations. Furthest from the clubhouse this week was Cameron Swatton, running at Northallerton Parkrun, which is 257 miles away from the clubhouse. So just 7 podiums this week to speak of. At Bromley we had Gregory Bull was 2nd male, Johnny Lee was 2nd junior, and Akil Gurunathan was 3rd male junior. At Beckenham Place Park it was a 2nd place for Paul Sharp, and at Salisbury Zach Kelman took the win, the overall win. Zach is just a 13-year-old, so well done to Zach. And at Sutcliffe Park it was a 2nd place finish overall for James Bunn and a 4th place finish for James's dad Philip, so a good family outing there. Now a little bit of parkrun news for you. At Bushy Parkrun, the original parkrun location, every year on the first Saturday in July they try and invite as many over 80s as possible to come along and try the parkrun. So it's become the unofficial national over 80s 5 kilometre champs. Now our own John Isaac finished 5th over 80 in a time of 28:27, which gives him an age grading of 80%, somehow appropriate. The first lady was Zero to Hero Doreen Abbott, that most of us will know. She finished in 30:19 and was over 5 minutes ahead of the second lady. So well done to our older park runners. Now then, coming up, the big event this weekend of course is the English Schools up in Birmingham. So we wish our 19 track athletes and 14 field athletes all the very best. Wish them the best of luck up there. On Friday it's round 5 of the Masters League at Tunbridge. We've got 400 metres, 3 kilometres and a 4x400 metres on Friday night, plus hammer, triple jump and high jump, so good luck to the masters out there. And on Sunday it's the Southern League over at Sutcliffe Park, so wishing all the best to the teams and athletes taking part in those events. That concludes our news for this week, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.